The vast ocean has always known how to keep history's most terrifying secrets hidden. When we look at maps of ancient worlds, there are always blank ocean spaces marked with the words, "Here be monsters." But what if the most frightening thing beneath the waves isn't a creature of flesh and blood? What if it is a man-made creation? A colossal mass of iron and steel, weighing tens of thousands of tons, sleeping in the abyss. Welcome back. Today, we are uncovering erased records to find the truth behind the Sunken Iron Colossus, a mythical iron entity lying deep beneath deadly coordinates that no sailor dares to speak of. Who forged a war machine this invincible, with a stature as massive as an astronomical observatory? Why did it suffer the fate of sinking into the cold depths of the sea instead of reigning at the peak of glory? Many believe it was defeated by the gods. Others think it cast itself into the deep. But the truth, as always, is far more brutal and insane than you could ever imagine. Let us peel back this layer of rust. To understand the origin of the Iron Colossus, we must travel back in time to the golden age of ancient mechanics. Thousands of years ago, an empire known as Aethelgard mastered the technology of forging divine power into metal. They didn't just build floating cities. They harbored the ambition to create true guardians to challenge nature again. The Iron Colossus was originally created not to destroy, but to protect the kingdom's energy core. According to item descriptions scattered among the ruins, this machine was powered by an eternal heart. It was a massive gemstone containing the energy of an entire continent, allowing the giant to operate indefinitely without needing a recharge. For 3 centuries, Aethelgard was an impenetrable nation. Any invading fleet would retreat at the mere sight of its shadow. With a single stop of the Colossus, the ground would shatter and tsunamis would swallow all enemies. People revered it as a symbol of immortality, a worshipped mechanical god of bone and steel. But human arrogance is always the spark that ignites their own destruction. The last emperor of Aethelgard, in a fit of paranoia over absolute power, issued a mad order. He wanted to link his own mind to the eternal heart to directly control the machine. He wanted to turn the Guardian Colossus into a weapon of conquest, wiping out neighboring nations. But the brain of a mortal could never withstand the infinite energy flow of the divine core. The connection failed. The machine lost control, and the most horrific tragedy in history began. Our analysis enters its darkest chapter, the doom of Aethelgard. No longer a protector, the Iron Colossus transformed into a frenzied monster, destroying the very birthplace it was sworn to protect. All weapons of the royal army were completely useless against the super alloy iron armor forged by their own hands. It rampaged relentlessly for 3 days and 3 nights, turning a prosperous kingdom into a desolated wasteland. But if it was that powerful and invincible, why does it currently rest at the bottom of the deep sea? Let's look closely at the underwater evidence. Archaeological divers discovered a shocking detail. Embedded deep between the joints on the back of the Colossus are hundreds of giant harpoon spears. These are not human weapons. These are the weapons of the deep-sea guardians, ancient beings of the Merfolk race. As the maddened machine marched into the ocean to continue its conquest of the outside world, the Merfolk realized the imminent danger. A cataclysmic battle erupted between the pinnacle of mechanical technology and the raw, primordial power of the ocean. The Merfolk knew they couldn't pierce its armor from the outside. They decided to use divine chains to drag it into the abyss. But the machine was too heavy and too strong. It dragged even the largest leviathans down with it. Finally, a grand archmage of the deep sea sacrificed his own life to deliver a fatal strike directly into the energy core. The blow shattered the eternal heart, causing the energy to leak out and instantly freezing a section of the sea with magical power. The Iron Colossus was officially paralyzed. It began to sink, slowly falling into the eternal darkness of the ocean floor.
The empire of Aethelgard collapsed, the Merfolk suffered devastating losses, and the story of the Colossus was buried in oblivion. Until centuries later, when fishing vessels began screaming about an iron ghost beneath the waves. Whenever a heavy storm hits, their compasses spin wildly, and groaning sounds like grinding steel echo from the seabed. Many believe it is the cry for help from the Emperor's soul, still trapped inside the energy core. Others warn, the machine is not dead, It is merely repairing itself. So, what is the ultimate truth? Let's dive into the community's wildest theories. The first theory. The machine didn't sink to die, but to imprison something far more terrifying beneath the ocean floor. Look closely at its posture. It is not lying flat on its back like a defeated ruin. It is kneeling, with both hands driven deep into the rocky tectonic rift. What lies beneath that crack? Could it be an ancient Cthulhu entity? A void monster trying to break free? If this theory holds true, the Sunken Iron Colossus is actually sacrificing itself, using its 10,000-ton weight as a permanent plug to seal the gates of hell. The second theory is a bit more realistic and terrifying. A modern military corporation has located it and is secretly reactivating it. In the hidden data files of the latest game version, players found encrypted codes named Project Titan Restoration. They are replacing the ancient magical circuits with fiber optic cables and mini nuclear reactors. Imagine the power of an ancient titan, now enhanced with the cutting-edge warfare technology of the 21st century. That would mean doomsday for any nation opposing
The structural integrity is failing
but
at the perimeter.
can humans control something that even their
extraction teams
ancestors
ready.
failed to tame?
That asset is too valuable
The
to
third
lose.
theory relies on an extremely rare Easter egg. The machine is actually a living, organic organism. The outer rust is merely a protective skin, and the metal is just a shell encasing a cosmic biological entity that crashed onto Earth. The Aethelgard Guardians didn't forge it, they just found it and built their city around its sleeping body. When they plugged the eternal heart into it, they weren't powering it, they were torturing and forcing it to wake up. The madness that destroyed the kingdom was actually just a painful, defensive reaction of a chained creature. Now, resting at the bottom of the sea, it is being healed by the cold water, patiently waiting for the day this iron shell sheds away. 3 theories, 3 different perspectives, but they all lead to one common conclusion. The Sunken Iron Colossus is a ticking time bomb. It represents the fragile boundary between peak technology and natural destruction. When we greedily seek to possess a power beyond our understanding, the price to pay is always the demise of an entire civilization. The story is that should never be touched. For now, the Iron Colossus still rests there, silent, cold. But the ocean currents are shifting. Earth's temperature is rising, and the deep sea pressure is undergoing strange fluctuations. Scientists at ocean research stations have just recorded a bizarre sound frequency emitting from these exact coordinates. It is not the rustling of rusting steel. It is a pulse. The eternal heart is beating again. Will our world be ready to face it when it awakens once more? Or will we follow in the footsteps of the Aethelgard Empire, becoming the next ashes of history? The answer lies with
Great
us,
spirit of the metal,
the curious ones,
we welcome
searching
your
for the
return.
truth. Thank you for joining me on
Rise
this
from the
deep-sea
earth.
investigative journey. Which theory do you agree with the most? Is it a guardian, a military weapon, or a living entity? Classic game lore mysteries. Goodbye, and see you next time.